All right, all right. Yes, glad to be here. This is George Walker, and I'm coming to you with the BFTAA and More show right here on KUAW Radio, Kansas City's global community radio station. We are so glad to be able to join in with you today. This is the first show of the new year, 2023, and we're glad to be a part of it. I hope that you are picking me up. I'm trying to see if I'm hearing this. Hello? Okay, yeah, I got it. All right. Yeah, so this is our first show of 2023, and we are so glad to be into it. Yes, it's a new year. I hope that you're all ready, because ready or not, it's here now. So we got a lot of stuff that we're going to talk about, a lot of things to cover in this new year. So this is the year that we're going to be doing great and glorious things. We're going to be building up KUAW Radio and the Black Family Technology Awareness Association. This show is a project of the Black Family Technology Awareness Association and the W.E.B. Du Bois Learning Center, who come together to form KUAW Radio. It stands for Knowledge, Understanding, and Wisdom. KUAW is a community radio station. We broadcast out of the W.B. Du Bois Learning Center, 4510 East Linwood Boulevard in Kansas City, Missouri. But we also are worldwide, and you can pick us up 24 hours a day. We have an audio side, which broadcasts all of our audio shows and music and entertainment, and some of our syndicated shows are all broadcast on the audio side only. So you can go to kuaw.org and you can listen to KUAW Radio, or if you have some of those apps that you can pick up in your car with the TuneIn app, if you have Get Me Radio, if you have the online radio box or My Tuner, all of those you can pick up. If you've got Roku or Apple Fire, search KUAW Radio and you'll be able to get us on that. So if it's on the TuneIn, if it's on Roku, if it's on Apple, the Apple Fire Stick, we're there. So wherever the music is played, we're there. You can pick up some of our smooth jazz that we have programmed by Professor Smooth Jazz, a local DJ that really puts out some good music or some good playlists. And we also have blues that is on a syndicated show with Rosine Bailey, Blues Time in the City, every weekend. And for those of you that like that that quiet soul thing, Quiet Storm, Heavy Storm, is on twice a week with DJ Heavy Storm coming at you. So check out KUAW Radio 24 hours a day. If you don't know which station, just go in and Google KUAW Radio, and you'll see how many times we come up. There's a lot of ways that you can listen to us and that you can pick us up. So hopefully you'll take advantage of that. But this is the BFTAA and More show. We like to bring you information about technology and going on and some other things that are happening in the community. We just got through celebrating Kwanzaa, which is the New Year celebration celebrated in the African American community. It has Pan-African roots, started back in the mid-60s by Dr. Karanga, but it's now celebrated in many countries around the world. Wherever there are Africans and African Americans, there is Kwanzaa. So the 7 principles of Kwanzaa were recognized. We had a grand time at the Gym Theater. There were a lot of great speeches gave. There was entertainment. There was spoken word. There was recognition of elders and of people that have done things in the community. And then on the last day of Kwanzaa, which is Imani, there was the feast. So we had the feast at the National Black United Front's headquarters yesterday, and it was very good food. Hats off to Sandra. Yeah, she baked some cookies and cakes that are fantastic, and then there was some vegan dishes and just a lot of good food that was out there. So it was a great time, and there was a lot of recognition of the young people and the people that have worked so hard in this transition of the National Black United Front. Also want to give a shout out to the American Jazz Museum. Yes, the American Jazz Museum, which is a co-sponsor of the Kwanzaa celebration and has been a partner with the National Black United Front for 25 years, making this happen in the community. And that's something that if you have never been to a Kwanzaa event, you don't have to go all week. If you go one night and just experience all the love and you just feel so at home when you walk in there. The friendly atmosphere, people are greeting each other, and it's just a great time. So if you've never been to Kwanzaa, you owe it to yourself to at least go once or twice. If you go to the KUAW Facebook page, I have a couple of the performances and some of the things that went out on my story. So if you want to go there, you can see a little bit about Kwanzaa. If you have a Twitch access, Twitch TV, a lot of it was recorded. The whole Kwanzaa event was recorded, and it's on there. So there's a lot of places you can pick up the Kansas City Kwanzaa. Go to the National Black United Front site of Facebook page, and you can pick things up, and on the Twitch page. But it's great. So if you've never been, make it a point to say this year, December the 26th to January the 1st, I'm going to attend Kwanzaa in some form or fashion, one day, one night. I'm going to experience summer Kwanzaa. So make that on your to-do list for 2023, and you won't be sorry that you came. That's for sure. So we want to welcome you here tonight. We're getting ready to go into let me see if I can get that up. Well, every week we bring you a little bit about what's going on at NASA. So one of the things we're going to bring up now is a little bit of what's happening in NASA, and we're also going to talk about some of the economics that are going on in NASA. So that's something that we really want to be aware of, because you think about space and you say, oh, they're going up there and it's a good experiment, or they're just traveling. And so, no, 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 no. There's a whole industry being built around that's going on up in space. So we're going to go out. Let's see, what's the first one I have? What's up at NASA? So you can see what's going to be going on in the night sky this year. All right, so let's see if I can get this up. Just a second. Now I think I got to make it live. So let me transition over and we'll get there. What's up at NASA? All right, all right. So that's a little bit about what's happening this week in NASA. Got a little bit of technical difficulty going on right now, so you can check out some of the past. I'm trying to get my screen back on. Oh man, I tell you, I don't want to start off like this. Let me switch over. All right. So I think I've got, let me close this down. Let's see, just a second. Okay, so yeah, you guys can see me. I don't know. I think you're still hearing this that's going on in NASA right now. So let's see if we can get that down. What's going on at NASA? There. Okay. Why is it still playing there? Okay, you guys may not be hearing it. I'm still hearing it, but I don't think you can hear it right now. Let's see. Some days this stuff gets caught up in a loop and won't disappear on me. So we'll see. It says we're live streaming. And all right, all right. Yeah, we're hanging out and we're there we go. Now I got that quiet. Started what's up in NASA and couldn't get it to stop. Those are some of the things that happen sometimes here, but I'm going to go ahead and move forward. Yeah, I was talking to you a little bit about Kwanzaa. Another thing that I noticed is that we were down on 18th and Vine New Year's Eve because we had been to Kwanzaa and come out at 9 o'clock. And boy, I tell you, 18th and Vine looked pretty empty. I don't know if there's no nightlife anymore. I think the Sorry there at 18th and Paseo was open, but I didn't see anything going on at the Blue Room. Nothing at the corner, and I don't think the Juke House was even open. And so, as New Year's Eve is a big time that a lot of people go out and celebrate, I thought it was kind of odd that in the historic jazz district there was one venue that was open and the rest of them were closed. Not that I go out a lot through the week or through the year on the weekends anymore. That's not my thing. But, you know, in order to have a vibrant historic jazz community, it's kind of strange that you don't have much jazz or anything going on New Year's Eve when other clubs are have people lined up and they're charging high prices to get in. That down at 18th and Vine, it was, yeah, you could have shot a cannon down the street, you wouldn't have hit anybody. That to me just seemed very strange. So if you have any comments on that, please post them on our Facebook page. I will check it out and I'll respond to you. But 18th and Vine, I know they're talking about opening up this Vine Street Brewery or something up around 19th or 20th and Vine, but it looks like it could use a shot in the arm. And I don't know what it is. I know there's a lot of activity maybe in the daytime with the museums being open. And I saw some job training things. And the business side is good. We need to have that. But it's really strange that there was no place, oh, well, there was one place to go enjoy jazz music on New Year's Eve that they didn't feel that they could draw the people or whatever it may be the point. But it was really kind of strange and a little disheartening to see that when you see what goes on at the what's that, down in KC Live in the Crossroads District, and all of that with people and things happening. That when you drive over and you cross Paseo, it was quiet. Yes, I thought that was just a little odd. So let me know what you think about that, or if you noticed anything, or is Vine in need of a rejuvenation of life of some sort on there. I think up at the place up the street up there near 19th and Vine, they were open, but basically it looked like businesses are having a hard time in the 18th and Vine area. So let me know what you think about that. Go to the KUAW Facebook page, KUAW-radio, and put your comments about the 18th and Vine area. If you happen to be down there on the weekend, or if you were down there over the New Year's weekend, and what did you see and what did you think about 18th and Vine at that time? All right, all right. So Kwanzaa was great. Had a great time there. The A-flat orchestra was good. They actually had a stand-up comedian one night in there for a set. They had poetry readings. There was a play that was put on. So there was a lot of things going on. The Paseo Choir performed with the A-flat orchestra, and they really put on a great show. It was really nice and stuff. So hats off to our young people that worked in that too. That was great. That was great. That was Friday night, I believe. Friday night when they were down there, and the kids are on break, but they came out. It was really a good time. So as we move forward, another thing that I noticed that was news last week, and is still news this week, is our our educational system. Everybody has their gripes about what's going on with the kids and things like that. But talk about putting some money to work in that. It was announced that the Gates Foundation will make a $1.1 billion investment in furthering the education of underrepresented youth. So over the next 10 years, our work in K through 12 education is going deeper in math, the Post read. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is not new to mathematics. For the past several years, 40% of our K through 12 education budget has supported math instruction. And the reason that they're doing this is that nationally, 86% of white fourth graders now, we're not talking about high school stuff, 86% of white fourth graders were at least on grade level in mathematics. Only 55% of black students could say the same. So 86% of fourth graders were on grade level, and only 55% of black students were on grade level. And this is a staggering disparity. This is from the Gates Foundation. And it's an issue that the foundation has long fought to change, and their recent major announcement is no exception. So they're putting $1.1 billion into it. Now you have to understand, before you go real goo goo gaga, it's over 10 years. But that's still a lot. That's over $100 million a year that this foundation is going to put into finding ways or helping organizations. I don't know exactly how it's going to be done. I've got an article here that I pulled down from the Gates. I went to the foundation itself, and it says, close your eyes and imagine your 8th grade math classroom. Some of you may be excited, but I suspect more of you are remembering that feeling of being anxious and lost. Yeah, that's how I felt. Yeah, math class in 8th grade, or any grade for that matter, is a place where too many students have grappled with seemingly countless formulas, tests, and problems that appeared to have little application. Now, you check the word. The problems appeared to have little application to the real world. It is not a place where they feel confident, supported, or even productive. Why is that the case? And how can we make math a rigorous and positive experience that sets students up for success, both in school and in life. So we have to think about that. How many times have we said, well, I don't know when I'm going to use this? Or say you agree with the kids that why they need to learn all this different math. When have you ever had to use it? Well, I'll tell you the truth. You do have to use math. You do have to use equations. You do have to use formulas, especially if you go into a field of work. If you want to be an electrician, if you want to be a carpenter, if you want to do a lot of things that are working with your hands, or if you want to be a programmer or a coder, a lot of math, or math is going to be a big part of that. It's going to help you to excel. It's going to help you in it. So that old saw that we used to say that, well, you really don't need to know all that much about math. Bull. You do need to know a lot about math. You do need to try and become efficient. We do need to encourage our young people to become proficient in math, to be on their grade level, to learn algebra. Yeah, all the people that say that they don't know when they had to use math and stuff probably haven't worked even on their income tax, where you have to use math. When you're trying to figure out percentages, when you go to buy a car and they throw numbers at you left and right, when you're buying a house, when you're wanting to figure out what those credit card ratings are, or your credit rating, all of that stuff, a lot of times you have to use a little math. Those are equations. Those are math problems. And when we don't pay attention to math, then we have a hard time paying attention to our money. Yes. That's why we don't get into stocks or bonds. It's like, I don't want to figure all that out. well, think about it. It's all math. So we need to be working. It says the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has been thinking a lot about math and how to answer those questions. Math is more than just a tool for getting a good job. Math makes sense of the world, and it is analytical thinking in action, the ability to understand patterns, problems, and challenges with ever-increasing precision. When students experience math in the way we know is possible, and have been seen in excellent math classroom as relevant and engaging, their interest, motivation, and persistence are evident. That is the math classroom we want all students to find themselves in. Yeah, so it has to do with the foundational thing and stuff. The energy and engagement in this classroom are fostered by an enthusiastic and prepared teacher who is equipped with rigorous and engaging instruction materials. These supports inspire students, build their confidence, and give students a sense of agency. So we want our kids to be challenged, but we want to make sure that we have good teachers in there. One of our shows, if you haven't checked it out, The Source of the Inkwell, Mr. Tyrone Gather, who's a teacher, has been a teacher for many years in Kansas City and in Raytown school districts, talking about the classroom experience, talking about the teachers we have, talking about the preparedness, the whole atmosphere for learning. And that's what we want. We want students in this classroom. The instruction is tailored to the student's needs. The teacher uses digital tools to personalize learning, making sure students get the help and practice in real time that they need to master key concepts. The students also learn as a group, explaining their reasoning and discussing different ways to arrive at the answer to a problem. Whether they plan to be an engineer, a coder, graphic designer, or a nurse, students see math as a tool to make the world better. They also have a clear sense of the courses they need to take in high school and beyond to achieve their aspirations. This classroom is an inclusive environment where every student feels like they belong, and they can see their interests reflected in the work they are doing in a fun and interesting way. So this is the thing that we want to strive to improve our schools to be a place of learning that is inclusive to all students. We all don't learn alike, but there are ways that teachers and those that are in the profession can make learning fun to all students and engaging. And that's what we need to be pushing our school district. I mean, there's election coming up. There's people that are going to be running for your school board and new superintendents to be selected. And just the everyday teaching atmosphere that we need to all pay attention to. We need to get involved in. Meet teachers, talk to teachers, find out what some of their needs are. Yeah, they have some complaints and they also have some things that work good. But it would be good for them to know that the citizenship in the community really appreciates them and the work that they do. You know, we need to lift our educators up, and then we need to support them and provide them with the tools that they need. And that's in with our taxes, that is with getting the good leadership that they need. All of that is an important part that we need to be ready for. So as we get into 2023, and I believe the elections are coming up in April, somebody check me on that and stuff. I don't have the chat up right now because I'm working on a different computer, but I'm going to have the chat on this computer. But go ahead and put in your questions or your comments in on our Facebook page, and I will check them out and respond to you. So go to KUAW-radio and let us know what you think about our school system, about how we can improve the math outcomes, because this is a nationwide thing. So it's not just a Kansas City thing. They didn't say that the students in Kansas City were behind in their grade. They said nationally, 55% of black students are not at grade level in math. We can find statistics similar to that in other core curricula that they need to be learning. But that's something that we've got to look at, because this is something we've been fighting for many years. We need to come up with some solutions. And that's, you know, a problem, or that is a challenge for each and every one of us, is to help come up with the solutions that are going to help make this condition disappear or become less a problem that we have. So, you know, let's work together on that. Let's talk about that. At the Black Family Technology Awareness Association, we work with students out of school with technology. We try to make it fun. We have robotics teams where kids do learn a little bit of math and how to do problem solving and logical thinking. We have from 9 to 18-year-olds in our robotics program, and they learn how to do things. They learn coding, and all of this is out of school. But we're just an adjunct to what they learn in school, or to help them see some practical applications of what they learn in school. We're definitely not there to replace schools, but as some place where they can have fun and they can use what they've learned. Also at the W.E.B. Du Bois Learning Center, there's an environment that is created there for students to learn in math, to learn in reading, to learn in science. So if you want to get your student involved in some extra activity of learning that can help them, bring them around to the W.E.B. Du Bois Learning Center. It's located at 4510 East Linwood Boulevard. That's at Linwood and Elmwood. It's the former Milton Moore Elementary School. And you can come down there on Saturdays and on Mondays, Monday evening for classes. And you can come in on Saturday. There's math and science that goes on. Reading is on Monday from 6 to 7:30. And from 10:30 till noon on Saturdays is math, and we do science from 12:30 till 2:30. So get involved, you know, not if you don't come to WB Du Bois Learning Center, get your children involved in some extracurricular science and technology, STEM-based fun. Because it's everybody's not going to be a football player. All those that are is great. The basketball teams, the softball teams, the baseball teams, kids learn teamwork there and organization and discipline, and it's great. And also, if they get involved in some technology like coding or robotics or drone flying, those are also ways that they can learn teamwork and problem solving and discipline. So, it's another way, just like going into music and any of those other things. That is what is needed to help our kids be uh, well-rounded and able to cope with this world. So we need to work with them. We need to impress upon them, and I hope that you would get them involved in some extracurricular activities. I mean, that A-flat orchestra had a lot of young kids, a whole mixture of kids too. It was diverse. It was a very diverse, young and older kids. There were different ethnicities and boys and girls and all of that. But they come together in the orchestra to make a sound, to get that sound together. That's what we need to have in everything that we do. Coming together to make that great sound. So, thank you for listening to me. I hope that you will continue to tune in to the BFTAA and More show. I'm your host, George Walker. I'm here every Monday from 5 till about 5:45. It's a little shorter show today, but I had some running to do, so I didn't get to get all of my articles together, and I'm not going to just sing and tap dance for you here with that. But I want to do so. I heard some good stories on AI, some articles that are out there, and I want to do some research on artificial intelligence, AI, that is becoming more and more a part of our lives right now. Right now, the metaverse that's coming and the use of voices or animatronics or robotics, all of that is becoming more and more harder to distinguish from real life. They've got AI things that you can talk to now that give you answers, and you don't really know if you're talking to a real person or a machine. They've got AI programs that can do homework for kids, can write essays. Those are things that we need to know about. So it's a lot of stuff going on in the artificial intelligence world, and you may like it or dislike it and say it's this or that, but you need to know about it because it's out there. And I don't think it's going away. I think it's something that we're going to have to make sure we have the right guardrails up to protect us from misuse and abuse of AI. But I don't think you can get rid of AI, nor do I think you really want to, because there are so many benefits to it that you want to be able to use it, that you want to use it for the good things that it can do. Now they're going to be doing more and more of it in movies and things like that, but there's things that are going to be done that are going to affect you in different ways. Now, one thing I want to show before we go out of here too is a little bit about the dollars and cents that are being looked at in the future of space. I talk about NASA and what NASA does. We want to look a little bit about, I'll tell you now, I didn't want to start that thing talking right now. Let's see. Let's see if we can. There. We just have to take it out of there altogether. All right. So we'll see if we can get something else captured in here right now. Let's see. I think this is it. So stay tuned, and you're going to see a little bit about the business that's happening in space as we get ready to go.
Mike Reed is the manager of Space Station Business and Economic Development for NASA at Johnson Space Center. He explains how businesses are enabling research. Supporting all of the research activities on station is becoming a significant activity in and of itself. Companies like Bioserve, TechShot, Space Tango, and others operate over 20 commercial research facilities housed on the station. Scores of companies provide services as payload developers, helping researchers translate their experiments into hardware small and light enough to be transported to and housed on the station. All of these commercial activities support business models and expand the numbers of entities with experience in conducting business in space. As NASA increases the opportunities for companies to perform research on the space station, it's likely that the number and types of companies taking advantage of those opportunities will also increase. That in turn will help keep the partnership between NASA and business thriving. Read notes. Soon we hope to see private astronauts as part of NASA's LEO Commercial Development Program. Some of those may be researcher astronauts. That is, researchers who work directly for a company and are trained to come work in the station during private astronaut missions. To enable the beginning of development for a next-generation, commercially built and operated low Earth orbit research platform, the space station is hosting new commercial modules. The NanoRacks Bishop airlock became operational in February 2021, and Axiom Space plans to launch a module to expand the habitable volume for research and other activities on the station. NASA's commercial resupply and commercial crew programs are also enabling multiple companies to develop and operate the next generation of spacecraft and launch systems. This commercial transportation to and from the station has fueled the growing market share of U.S. launch providers in the world marketplace, and is providing expanded utility, additional research time, and broader opportunities for discovery for NASA's mission of space exploration. The innovative use of public-private partnerships employed to support station research is becoming the template for NASA's new exploration initiatives. The Artemis program has the goal of landing the first woman and first person of color on the surface of the moon. In addition, Artemis plans include establishing a lunar outpost built by private companies, and eventually harvesting resources from the moon. Doing business in space has become one of the fastest growing businesses on Earth. The International Space Station has proven to be a one-of-a-kind. The International Space Station has proven to be a one-of-a-kind laboratory. Microgravity conditions allow for experiments impossible to duplicate on Earth. In addition, Artemis plans include establishing a lunar outpost built by private companies, and eventually harvesting resources from the moon. Doing business in space has become one of the fastest growing businesses on Earth. The space economy has expanded by over 60% in the last decade and is now valued at roughly $400 billion. That commercial success is matched in importance by the knowledge gained from private research conducted on the space station. It's knowledge that spans hundreds of disciplines and will help millions here on Earth, as well as those traveling beyond the reaches of our planet for years to come. For more information about how private companies can conduct their research on the space station, go to www.nasa.gov/ISS-science. To discover more about the space on, around, and beyond our planet, visit science.nasa.gov.
So yes. One of the things that I wanted to show with that is that going into space is about business now. Yeah, the space station and low Earth orbit space stations are going to be more and more common. There will probably be one that will be set up just for business. That they won't be sending astronauts, but they'll be sending technicians and workers up to the space station. Those are jobs that are going to be out there in the future. As it says, companies are doing research that industry is valued at $400 billion. So we need to know about these things. So, hey, we can tell our young people about looking at that as a career option also, but you might also look at it as an investment opportunity. What companies do you know that are doing business in space? It's a growing economy right now. So you look at SpaceX or some of the other companies, Virgin and Blue Horizon or Blue Origin, whatever. Not to say any one of them has a lock on it, or the companies that you see that are doing something in space now may not even be around in 5 years. We don't know. So I'm not saying that you invest in any of them, but I'm saying that it's something to research and to study. Because as some of you wanted to find out about getting into cryptocurrency where you didn't know what they made or how it made money, this is something where they're going up doing research to make products for something, for chips, how to grow plants better, how to make silicon wafers, things like that, that will have a practical use, that may be the next big thing. So you might want to look at investing in that. But those are things that we have to look at as we study. So I show you about space, about what's going on in NASA, but it's not just NASA anymore. There are private companies that are sending things in space that are helping out the government, those, as they say, those private and government partnerships. So let's get involved. Let's don't sleep on it. I want to thank all of you for joining me. This is George Walker. You've been listening to BFTAA and More Show on KUAW Radio. Thank you for listening. We'll talk to you next week. Have a great time. Bye-bye.